I'm not going to lie, I got scared a couple of times. Hello and welcome back to the channel, and today I have a review for The Silver Eyes. This is a book inspired on the video games of Five Nights at Freddy's, and actually one of the writers is the creator of these video games. So let's start. So I haven't played Five Nights at Freddy's, but I know a little bit what are these kind of video games about. I know what is an animatronic and what they do when the lights go off, and like what is the kind of video games about. And I think that helped a lot into the setting and into going in this setup of tension really quickly, because it's the first chapter. I know a little bit what is going on. I can understand that this story is not the same as in the video games, so let me explain a tiny bit what this book is about. We are following a group of friends. Well, they used to be good friends when they were a child, but some tragic accident happened and one of their friends got missing, so they went to different places and stopped communication between them. So 10 years after that accident, the parent of this guy that got missing called all of them to have a kind of special memory for this guy. So they went together to this town, start talking to each other, and decide that actually it's a good idea to go to the restaurant. The thing that they don't know is that there's a new building. It was supposed to be a mall, but it's unfinished, so they decide to enter, and they figure out there's a kind of secret door, and behind that is the restaurant. So actually it was building like surrounding this restaurant, and when they go inside they start reviving like these good memories that they used to spend a lot of time on there, because again one of their friends was the daughter of the owner, so they used to spend a lot of time on there. And especially with animatronics, these were some robots covered of fur. They used to look like an animal, so there was a rabbit, there was a bear, a chicken, and a fox. And they start feeling strange, like something is wrong, like they look watched or something like that, if someone is watching them, and didn't know why. And the main protagonist, that is Charlie, feel strange, feel bad, and feel like uncomfortable around these animatronics, but she doesn't know why. So she's kind of having a bad memory because all of this happened when she was a child. She has a lot of trauma, so she doesn't quite know what happened or why she's scared of animatronics, or why she thinks, for example, that they shouldn't have turned on the lights or turn on these animatronics or got close to them. So we are trying to figure out what happened, why she doesn't remember what actually happened 10 years ago with this friend that is Michael. Oh, I forgot to tell you that that first time that they go inside, two of their friends were missing. They haven't arrived yet to this place. So the second night they decide to go again to this restaurant, and strange things going to happen, but they decide to keep going. And I don't know why. I mean, if I have a bad vibe of a site, or if I feel scared, like I don't want to return, but they keep going to know why. And actually that this disappearing happened in Freddy fast food restaurant, it's enough for me to don't want to go there, because again, my friend got missing and we saw a lot of blood of this friend. I don't want to return to that place, but they keep going. Like, oh yeah, I have a lot of good memories in here, and it's like your friend got missing on there. Why do you still have those good memories and you want to return? I don't get that idea, but well, they decide to keep going and going and going until strange things start to happen, and they don't stop themselves. And the only time that they try to call someone big, because they're like 17, they're teenagers, they are not adults yet, and they decided to call someone for help. It was a cop, but he was like, "Oh, you're joking, or you're not serious, or whatever." So he didn't pay attention. The only thing that got me mad about this book is at some point, one of these kids got missing, and a little child saw the kidnapping of this kid. It was a costume, I think that they call them like that, and they told that to this that he was actually a cop too. He was a police officer, and he was off. You is my son. He must be joking about it. Relax, come, drink some hot chocolate and spend the night here, and he will return tomorrow. Don't be so worried about that. And I'm like, is your son? Your son is missing. It's strange because in this restaurant go a lot of disappearations 10 years ago, and you're all like, oh, you saw someone taking him? Don't worry, maybe he's joking. And I'm like, dude, are you really your dad? So it was kind of annoying, and like they'll see strange things happening and they decide like, oh yeah, he was joking. Yeah, I believe in you. I'm like, no, a kid is saying that he saw someone stealing this guy, and you're like, yeah, because his dad that wasn't on there said that he was joking is because he is right. So this was the only problem that I had. Now, the other, well, no, actually I have two problems. And the second one is that the main protagonist is like forgetting about everything, and I kind of get it that she has trauma, but she doesn't talk to anyone like that, and sometimes she's like, oh yeah, I remember something like that happened when I was child, but I thought it was a dream, so I didn't talk about that. I'm like, are you saying? And she got to a couple of strange experience with different animatronics, and she still loved them, and she still want to be close to them, and she still doesn't remember any of the accident with them until it's convenient, or until she returned to this house and it's like, oh, now I remember something. And I'm like, why now? So I didn't feel that this book has an ending, but i'm I'm not that invest into this ending, and I think that that's why I give this book 4 stars, because I like this book. I was vibing with this book, with the tension, with the mystery, with the horror of the animatronics and what was going wrong with them. But the final explanation of what happened, I wasn't that happy with that. And we actually don't know what happened with the restaurant. Like, they finally demolished the place, or it was just closed and waiting for someone else to go inside again, or what happened. So I'm curious to know what are the other books about and what are we following. So I think I'm going to continue the series, but I don't know when, because I just have the first book on here. So it's not that I didn't like at all the ending. It was more that some bizarre thing going towards the end, and I want the scientific explanation behind that, but I didn't have that. So I hope that in the other books there's the answer for my questions, because otherwise that will piss me off if I don't have that answers. So yeah, that's all I want to clarify. And this was a solid beginning, but I think that maybe you should know a tiny bit what these video games are about, because I think that you are going to feel tension all the time because of that. So this starts since the beginning, because on her house she has this kind of animatronics. They were toys that her dad built up for her, so she doesn't feel lonely anymore, and she always have like something thinking about these animatronics, that they look sad, that like they look that they were lonely a lot of time. So I felt the tension building up since the first page. I enjoyed that. So yeah, I think that that's the reason that I felt the tension since the beginning of the book until the end of it. And that's it. for this review, and let me know down below if you have read this book or if you want to, or if you have played these video games and if you are interested in reading this book. And I will see you soon on another video. Bye.